My school counselor said I wasn't college material. Mrs. Henderson had been crushing dreams at Lincoln High for 23 years by the time I stepped into her office junior year. Gray bun, reading glasses, permanent frown. Her desk was stacked with community college brochures, her go-to for anyone who didn't have a 4.0 and a trust fund. I had a 3.2 GPA. Not stellar, not terrible. I worked 30 hours a week bagging groceries to help my single mom keep the lights on. I wasn't valedictorian material, but I had a plan. I wanted to study engineering at State University. I'd done the homework, visited campus, researched the program, even talked to current students. Mrs. Henderson didn't care. "Let's be realistic," she said, barely glancing at my transcript. "Your grades are inconsistent. State isn't going to happen." She slid a brochure across the desk. "Community college is a perfectly respectable choice. I've already looked into State's engineering program," I said. "My math scores don't make up for poor study habits," she cut in. "I've been doing this for over 20 years. I know who has what it takes." She pulled another brochure. "There's also trade school, more practical than chasing some engineering fantasy." Then she looked me in the eye and said the 4 words I'll never forget. "You're not college material." That hit like a punch to the gut. I walked out clutching brochures I never asked for, burning inside. And then I got to work. I spent the rest of junior year grinding, studying during grocery store breaks, doing homework in my car between shifts. I brought my GPA up to a 3.6 by graduation. I applied to State anyway, got in, took out loans, worked part-time, graduated with a degree in mechanical engineering, landed a job at an aerospace company, but I never forgot those words. 5 years later, I started hearing chatter from old classmates. Parents had complained about Mrs. Henderson's guidance. I got curious, reached out to people I knew. What I got back was story after story, all the same. Sarah Martinez, told she wasn't science-minded enough to be a vet. She's now running her own animal clinic. Deshaun Williams, told journalism wasn't a real career, pushed toward auto mechanics. Now he's a staff writer at a national newspaper. It wasn't just bad advice, it was a pattern. She discouraged ambitious students, especially working-class kids. I started documenting, gathered testimonies, found parents who still remembered feeling belittled in her office. One mom told me Mrs. Henderson straight up laughed when her daughter mentioned med school. Then I dug deeper. Turns out both of Mrs. Henderson's kids went to elite schools, Stanford and Northwestern. Meanwhile, Lincoln High's college acceptance rate had dropped significantly during her tenure. I compiled everything: data, stories, enrollment records. I set up a meeting with the new principal. "I'm concerned about the guidance department," I said, sliding my research across the desk. He read, frowned, said he'd had concerns too, promised an internal review. 3 months later, it was over for Mrs. Henderson. They found she had discouraged strong students from applying to top schools. Worse, she'd been falsifying yearly reports, claiming credit for college acceptances she actively tried to block. She was quietly pushed into early retirement. Lincoln High brought in a new counselor, fresh ideas, a focus on opportunity. College application rates jumped 40% the next year. I never contacted Mrs. Henderson directly, but I did send her a newspaper clipping announcing my promotion to senior engineer. Taped to it was a note. Turns out I was college material after all. Last month, I established a scholarship at Lincoln High for students who show potential, even if their path is messy. The new counselor called me, asked if I'd speak to students about careers in engineering. "I want them to know their dreams are valid," she said. I said yes immediately, because every student deserves to hear what I never did, that their future isn't defined by someone else's low expectations.